Hello there.
Hello.
It's
Nice to meet you.
fantastic to talk to you.
You.
Anyways, let me just pull up the questions that I have for you and then we can begin.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see here. Okay, so first question. Currently, you're running a company called Valtone Ltd. Can you tell me more about your business and what you do?
Uh, Composing and producing music. That's what we do. And we also provide recording services. I have a friend who's basically doing all the mixing and engineering part, and I'll compose and produce, and we'll sort of work like that. That's our company.
Alright. Um,
So,
what are some big companies and notable figures you've had as clients, if any?
um, Sega and Namco, Remedy Entertainment and Housemarque, Colossal Order, City Skylines and
Oh, yeah, City Skylines. I've been playing it
yeah,
a lot lately.
yeah, it's a great game. And Sandbox Interactive is they have Albion Online, which is MMORPG game, and it actually has a real symphony orchestra soundtrack in it, and at least those come to my mind. There probably is something else, but I don't know. There's a huge ton of things on my Wikipedia site. Somebody's been adding those. I don't know who, but they are there. You can check it out if you're interested. Yeah.
And next question, what is your current workflow? What software and hardware do you use?
I use Cubase for composing and Pro Tools if I need to do a bit more massive, like audio moving around thing.
Hmm.
Like working with audio, and we just recorded some orchestral tracks, and it's all in all Pro Tools, and I'm sort of editing it in that. So, but I mean, for Cubase, I really love it for composing. So, and
Mm.
I have a lot of hardware, analog gear, and all kinds of stuff here I've gathered over the last like what 30 years or so. So I'm
Yeah, it's
using those
nice to
a
see
lot.
it all behind you, honestly. I love
Yeah,
the
yeah,
seeing all of it.
I have a lot of stuff.
I can see a
So,
Juno 60 back there. Hell yeah.
I love that. Actually, it's a great synthesizer. I still love it, and you get that instant 80s vibe with it. And I have also on loan though the 106 as well. So they are a bit different. And well, yeah, I know it's a taste thing, but
Yeah.
pretty cool stuff. Cool
Mm,
synthesizers.
all right. Next question. Do you still attend demo parties from time to time?
No, not really. But I mean, I watch assembly every year, the summer assembly on 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 internet, and actually, I just put on my projector and watch it on a big screen and what's happening there and all the competitions and sort of get the vibe from it. It's pretty not like extremely well produced, and they're doing a great job with it. So it almost feels like you're there and not having to have the sleep deprivation and sweat and all the other stuff that comes with being on a demo party. At least
Yeah.
what it used to be. What it used to be back then, I mean, it was pretty, yeah. Well, I was younger also then, so I had a lot more stamina to stay awake and such. But yeah, but now I just prefer to stay at home and have a nice cold drink in my hand, and then I can go early to bed and without somebody like blasting some kind of boombox next to my sleeping place. So what usually happened in assembly back on those days. It
Damn.
might be more civil now, I think, but it was pretty much chaos back then. So and like lovely chaos, not like in a bad way. It was
I'm
just
surprised you were able to survive.
yeah, me too actually. But yeah, but there still was some kind of control, and at least yeah, I think,
Hmm.
and it got of
Uh,
course got more professional as time went on and such. Well, now I'm talking about assembly, but yeah, good times.
Yeah. Next question. What are your thoughts on AI affecting the music industry?
I think it's gonna be provide quite nice tools for composers. Like you can sketch maybe ideas quickly and try different things, and maybe it will show some kind of new paths to you that you don't necessarily have thought about. But I don't know, it's still like very, if you still need to write some specific music and not like very general stuff, then it's still not there. I mean, yeah, for background music and such, it's great, and it's bad that you're gonna lose the jobs for those people who are doing those, like those entry level jobs probably will be
Yes.
affected, and which is kind of bummer because you can't rehearse while you're working because you have to compose to be a better composer.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't
I
just
mean,
you can't just throw a prompt into fucking Suno.
yeah. So you have to do the work, and it's a I don't know. It might be a bit stressful just to hop in right up there, but who
Yeah.
knows? I mean, back in the days when drum machines came, they said that they will replace all the drummers, and they were scared for that. And something else happened. Usually, something else always happens, and just try to see the good in it, and because it's gonna happen anyway. It's those companies are so dead on having this eye, but I'm not worried. I mean, I still would be writing music no matter what. I mean, even if I would, I like that I get paid for it from time to time, but I'm also doing these kind of very like contemporary and modern concert music things, which is something the AI can't really do at all. So it can only do like very basic stuff, and it really would have to be like artificial intelligence there, like an actual artificial intelligence with the taste and decisions of its own to have like new music. I really like do new music. So I mean, if at that point, if there's this kind of artificial intelligence around, then I guess me worrying about it stealing my jobs is the like least of people's concerns, I think.
Yeah, it's
So,
just
but now, no,
all
I'm
the
not
music,
worried.
all
Yeah.
the AI music I've heard recently is just the same, just stupid little slop, honestly.
Yeah, I mean because it's because it's based on repetition and what's done. And I mean, yeah, sure, you can do a beatless kind of piece because you can just input it that kind of style a lot. But I don't know. And the other thing is that do really people really want to listen to algorithms than actual people? I mean, I maybe I'm an old guy. I just realized that I'm starting to be an old guy now. I'm almost 50, but yeah, I mean, I prefer to follow like actual human beings. But I mean, it might be different in
Frankly, I
your.
don't blame you. Listening to actual singers instead of AI doing it is it's a kind of thing that like AI will never be able to replicate. Like human singers cannot be replicated. Like end of discussion.
Yeah, then there's also the other part than only the not only the singing, but also the person, like a real person behind it, and not only the music, but there's
Yeah.
also like the people behind it, which are interesting. I've sometimes I listen to music and then I learn about the like the band or the duet or electronic group or uh, I don't know producer and for interesting ideas and such and it makes the music also it gives it more depth and more size to the
Yeah, I
music as
agree with that.
well. And you're sort of missing that but who knows what happens. I mean it's just a wild west at the moment but
Yeah.
like if I come back to your question, I'm not that worried. I think it will provide great tools for trying out different things and maybe spot mistakes. I mean, like on orchestra scores, there's a lot of notes which even if you proofread it like insane amount of times, there still might be some more small glitches there, and have like, well, basically just like having an assistant. That would be like really cool in that sense as well. But yeah, we'll see and what happens.
All right, and your next question. In the info for the track you composed for Second Reality, you note that you got the sample CDs from Toni Vuoristo, or however the hell it's pronounced. Do you remember what sample
Vuoristo.
CDs you
Yes.
used back then, and do you still have them?
I don't have the CD. It was only a loan. I don't have any idea. I mean, he borrowed me like a huge amount of like dance music CDs, and I just sampled interesting stuff from them. And I have no idea where I got the sample from. I'm sorry. Maybe some AI can search the internet and find it from an actual music, but and probably it was also sampled for this track as well. So I watched the original. I don't know. But it's such a long time ago, I really don't remember. I think I was like 17 or something when I wrote the song. So it's like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, Second Reality came out in '93. Yeah,
Yeah. So, long
and
time ago.
yeah, next question. Do you miss Future Crew? Have you ever wished the group would reunite and come back?
Yeah, like lately, I think when people get older, they sort of get more into nostalgia, I guess. And we actually met in Jussi Laakkos's birthday party like a couple of months ago. Abis from Future Crew, and it was really nice seeing everybody, and everybody were pretty like easygoing and pretty happy, and good things have happened in their life. And the interesting thing is that everybody's been following up what they did on on the demo scene as well. I mean, if you did graphics or coding or something like that, they kept on doing it. Pretty much everybody. They didn't throw it away. So it was a pretty nice stepping board to this profession that we all do. But yeah, we talked about it a bit, and would be fun to do something fun. But let's see. I mean, there's been these kind of talks before, but yeah, me personally, I would love that there would be some kind of future crew production, but who knows? Let's see.
What's your least favorite song you've made, if there is one or more?
Oh my. Hmm. Like from the tracker tunes, I'd guess. I don't really remember. I do remember that there were some pieces that I didn't really enjoy as much, and I just released them. But I think all of them have some merit. I hope at least. And for this tracked CD album compilation I did, you can check it out on Tidal or Purple Motion Tracked. Um,
Oh yes, I've actually checked it
uh,
out.
yeah, yeah. So those are all of my favorite or the release worthy pieces are there. So I think if somebody finds a piece that's not there, then maybe that is a piece that it's not a favorite of mine, or I just forgot it from there. I don't know. But I remember being very serious about each of the pieces. But of course, I mean, when you're writing music or painting or doing whatever art that is, writing a novel or something, there's just sometimes you have this magic sparkle on the project you are working on, and it sort of just becomes more than you thought it ever could. And sometimes it really does not do that at all. Sometimes it's just like painful and you don't get there. But but it's again, it's such a long time ago. I really don't have any opinions the music anymore. I'm giving very lengthy answers to you, if that is okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah, I don't have hate pieces. Just maybe pieces that can go to the past and be forgotten.
Next question. If in your interview with Valet 2 back in 2010, you mentioned that Sai originally didn't want you to use Scream Tracker 2 yourself. If you can remember, what was his reason for that?
Um. Okay. This is not working very well.
It's all right. I can see you just fine.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm not. Oh. Well.
It's fine. It works.
Uh. Um. Well, the reason was that when I first met Sami, we didn't know each other at all. I was friends with his little brother, and I was hanging in their house. And I always wanted an Amiga because of the tracker software and such. And I, sometime when I was visiting Tommy, was his name, or is his name, and I was visiting Tommy, and I heard that somebody is playing tracker music, and I went to check it to the other room, and it was Sami there, and it was a PC and some kind of software I'd never seen before, and I was amazed that oh my god, tracker software is on PC, and can I have it? Is it possible? And the reason why he didn't want to give it to me because we didn't know each other at all, and you know, people were copying quite easily, like on the PBSs and what happened back, well, pirating software. I don't know if they do it still, but they pirated software a lot, and he was very careful not to give it out to anybody. And but after a while, I get to know Sami, and he gave the Screen Tracker 2 for me to beta test, and it was pretty cool. And that's how I actually got into Future Crew as well. I provided some tracks for them, and I did one track for Mental Surgery, and oh man, that's a rip-off actually. That piece from Uncle Tom, I think. Um, so maybe well, anyway, but they liked the piece so much that I was just added to the member list, and nobody even told me. I just saw it on the demo when I got the demo, and I was like, okay, I'm on Future Guru now. Cool.
Then that kind of nullifies my next question, which was when you joined Future Crew, how did your family react? Did they approve of you taking on your passion, quote unquote, or did they think it was silly?
They didn't thought it was silly. I don't think they even understood what I was doing. I mean, I still don't think they know what I did. I mean, they knew that I did music and I visited friends in Helsinki. I lived Turku back then quite often, so that's what they did. And they just support. I mean, they've been really supportive for my whole life. My parents, even though that it's not like insane. I mean, yeah, support, but it's not like like buying synthesizers and these kind of things. So I just had to. I was a pretty normal teen, and I tried to just do the tracker music thing and ball music thing as well. I was studying piano at that time as well. I mean, classical piano though, but still I was studying that. But I don't still think they know. They know the people. They know the names of the future group people, but I don't know if they know what the demo is.
Well, you'd probably have to show them something like Mental Surgery or Second Reality sometime. Maybe they'll give you
Yeah,
an intro.
maybe. Yeah, I don't think they would get it. Maybe my father would get it, I think. But yeah. But I mean they just support and love me anyway. So it's cool. But yeah, I mean they didn't think it's silly, and I guess they were just happy that I wasn't out boozing and being like fighting or whatnot. What also happened back then. Or maybe still happens, I don't know.
When did you or your family get a PC for the first time?
It was a long time ago. I mean, our first PC was 86 processor, you know. So that's like not not much happening there. My father was a entrepreneur and he used it for his work and I always wanted an Amiga, but I never got one because we already had a computer and we didn't get that. But yeah, and the next one was 286 and then came the almighty 386 PC and that was pretty cool because I think I got Sound Blaster for it, like the very first one that was all noise and
Yeah.
uh, yeah, horrible. You couldn't really sample anything with it, so that's the reason why we ripped all the samples on the PC tracking side. We just ripped all the not so obvious samples because we couldn't sample anything. Later, you could rip them from the CD, and that was pretty cool, but not at that point. And Screen Tracker 2, I was using that, and then came Screen Tracker 3, and then I was using that as well. And I used that 386 quite a long time to do all that stuff, like MS-DOS and, you know, IRGU and DMA configuration and all that kind of fun, which wasn't fun at all.
All right. My next question. You, I presume you did make music before Scream Tracker, right? In some form.
Which one? Screen 4? Yeah.
Before Scream Tracker 3, what did you use any software to make music before you were able to use Scream Tracker 2?
No, not really. I wrote notes, sheet music. It wasn't very clever. I think. I was really young, maybe 13 or 12, I think. And I had Commodore 64 actually. I had this software called uh, Music Studio where you could drag all those notes with a joystick to to the stave, and that's how I also wrote music with and tried out different things. And but that whole, back then you needed to have a synthesizer and a mixing board and effects like external hardware effects. There wasn't any plugin stuff at all. So when you're very young and you want all kinds of things. Well, I've already wanted to be a composer, actually. That's what I wanted to be from a small age, but but they costed a lot, and you would need quite a few of them, and it wasn't just possible to get those music equipment back then. So I didn't I didn't have any like hardware or anything stuff. So I later I bought like Roland D5 synthesizer, and that's like the most basic synthesizers. I had that for a while, and yeah. But after in my 20s, I started buying synthesizers, and I'm still buying those synthesizers. It's not a very cheap hobby, but back then I needed those for my work, and now it's sort of hybrid work, plugins and hardware synthesizers and whatever works and feels good for those. But yeah, sorry, I forgot your question. It's so hot in here, and I'm trying to stay focused.
The question was, what did you use to make music before Scream Tracker? And yeah.
But what? Yeah, yeah. So notes and playing and that music studio for Commodore 64. That's
All right.
what I used.
What can you remember of the first demos you made with Future Crew?
Think that was mental surgery. I remember that. PSI was like he's been always like the leader of Future Crew. He's very like a very qualified coder was back then and just has gotten better. And so I just was in contact with him basically And I think he was pretty much the future crew at that time. So I was mainly just in contact with PSI. He lived something like 500 meters from my place, so it was pretty easy to visit him and show him my music and get all the latest updates on Screen Tracker and such. And then, of course, get the update on the mental surgery. I don't know, maybe Gore Samuli came quite quickly. I don't know if he was already in the group at that time, but yeah, that was like the earliest memories of working on the demo.
Hmm.
I just provided the music. I didn't have any. I mean, I just provided any music. I didn't have like any. They didn't have any description or timing synchronization points or anything. They just took the music I wrote and put it in a demo, and that's it.
Yeah, it was just like anything goes, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was that. I mean, we were pretty young at that point, so everybody was just trying things, and I mean, there wasn't this kind of computer culture before that, and computers were not sort of accessible before have been before accessible. So at that time, it was all brand new, and people were just moving around with the computers and trying all these kind of new things. And demos were one. I mean, you know how demos got born. Do you
Yeah.
know how? Yeah, yeah. From the cracked throws and intros, and that's why everybody still has silly names because back then you couldn't. I mean, you wanted to have the credit who did the cracked the game or do the intro or whatnot, but you couldn't really put your own name there because of police would come and arrest you and so that still carried on, and I think it still carries on. And I think it's a pretty nice way of having this kind of memory on this whole demo scene
Yeah, if I
thing.
recall correctly, Razer 1911 released a just a little like demo at Revision 2025 called Anime. They
Yeah,
worked on it with Hack and Trade.
yeah.
I would recommend checking it out. It's so good.
All right, I will have to do that.
And okay, your next question. When you started to work for games, how did that switch over happen? When you switched from demos to games?
Uh, I mean, I at that point I already had done quite a few pieces of music with Future Crew. When I mean, they started to grow up, or the whole demo scene, people started to grow up and they started to figure out what they would do when they grow up. And quite a few of them actually formed game companies like Remedy Entertainment and Housemark was like, it was a combination of Bloodhouse and Terramark. They combined as one game house. And at that point, I was in Future Crew and I already had won quite a few of competitions, and I guess I had a name at that point. So people just asked me could I write music for their games. I mean that was pretty much basically it. And I said, of course, I can do that. And I wrote the first games for Remedy Entertainment and Death Rally in '97 or '96. I'm not quite sure, but those were the first games I wrote for. And then when I wrote those, I thought that, wow, I could actually make a living out of it. I didn't get a lot of money. It was just, cool to have your music on a game that was spread around the world and people seemed to enjoy the games and the music and such. So that's how it all started. And that's how I sort of switched. I just came along with everybody, I think. I think it was the same with all the graphics in demo groups and such, and they just got working on games as well from there, like continuing their own thing, what they were doing.
Hmm.
So,
Um, what was it like working with Yoko Shimomura for a very recent orchestral arrangement?
oh, yeah, that was so cool. I mean, I got free hands, and I didn't have any comments from Yoko at all. I mean, Thomas Böcker, who was doing all these kind of concert series, these kind of game music concert series, was on the middle and maybe communicating something, but I never don't know what happened. But yeah, I mean, I hope I think she liked them. At least I saw her once, and she seemed very happy. So I hope she liked them. Yeah, but yeah, it was. I mean, it was great. Writing all those orchestral tracks was great. So yeah, they are all very nice people. At least I've met Nobu Ematsu and Yoko Shimomura and Koshiro and on all kinds of people. And I mean, everyone is really nice and they are very supportive and helpful. So yeah.
And my final question, which is a bit random actually, what is your favorite? What is your favorite thing to drink after a long, hard day of work?
I know. Depends a bit. Maybe it used to be a red wine, but nowadays I'm just more happy to, drink like water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
water works just fine.
yeah, I like water actually quite a lot. That's also my clock for to move after 1 or 2 hours, so that if I constantly drink water, I have to go to the toilet, and it it doesn't keep me in stasis on front of the computer because when the flow hits, you pretty much can well, you can forget yourself for hours and hours and hours, and that's
Yeah.
not good. I mean, it's okay still when you're 18 and such, but when you're starting to hit 50, you get surprising things in your body that's not sort of you have to be mindful about. So drinking water is pretty cool. So yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you hopping on here for this interview.
Well, thank you. And yeah, I mean, I'm interested in all kinds of projects, and so it's been a pleasure. And like I mean, like recently, I did wrote duets for French horn and Game Boy, and they are gonna be recorded on in a month or so. And yeah, and we did some orchestral arrangements from the old Game Boy tracks actually that I wrote for Paragon 5, the called Project S11, and those are under the works now. And some contemporary stuff for chamber opera I'm working on. So, but I mean, yeah, all kinds of wacky ideas and everything. That's always welcome. And I mean, I love to watch what's happening on the scene still and what everybody's doing. I mean, it's so fragmented and that it's not only on one place anymore, but it's cool to follow up. So thank you for this interview as well. I mean, it was cool to remember those old times again. And like I said, people get older, they get nostalgic, and it's always nice to remember things from
Indeed.
your youth.
In fact, you were one of my main inspirations to buy an old Pentium MMX machine and put a Sound Blaster in it.
All right, that is decent. Yeah,
And
cool.
I don't make music on my main Windows machine anymore. I just use that old hunk of junk in there with just a set of creative speakers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how it was done. So that is cool. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I mean, it has some. Well, obviously, it has some nostalgia for me. I don't know if you get. I mean, the sound quality is pretty interesting, but that's. And if you really want to have like this proper DAC tracker sound, that's it. I'd say. Of course, we used Gravis Ultrasound then when that came available because it was really cool. But before it was Sound Blaster, and actually the first sound card I built a Covox for Screen Tracker 2 actually. So yeah, uh, good times like that. Nostalgia is hitting. Sorry, you can't get away now that this remembering lane is opening. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, it was fun.
Well, It was great talking to you.
Yeah, you too. And yeah, keep on tracking. And I hope you have a pleasant summer.
All right. You too, and long live future crew.
Oh, thank you. I hope that too. All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye bye.
Bye.
We did it, mate.